Call this meeting. Okay. Prairie City Council meeting summary, Monday, June 20th, 2022 at 6 p.m. in the Towncraft Building, 1112 Willis Avenue. This meeting will be recorded and may be attended electronically. Public access to the virtual option may be obtained by one of the following methods, which you can read on your own. Call to order and roll call.
Berkland,
Yes.
Mahler,
Yes.
Walling, Schott,
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
Consent agenda. All items under the consent agenda are considered to be routine by the city council and will be enacted by one motion with no separate discussion of these items. A, minutes of the June 6th, 20, pardon,
Motion for the meeting agenda, sorry.
thank you.
Second.
All
Call the
right.
roll, please.
Berkland,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Mahler,
Yes.
Walling, Schott.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so now I can continue.
Now
reading.
you can.
Okay, thank
Yes, sorry.
you. Okay, A, minutes of the June 6th, 2022 regular city council, payments for contract services. Bolton and Mink comprehensive plan update, $2,875. Bolton and Mink general municipal engineering, $6,255.50. Bolton and Mink runway 14/32 relocation, $21,709.89. Bolton and Mink runway 14/32 relocation phase 1, $24,421. Bolton and Mink runway 14/32 relocation phase 2, $33,745.95. Bolton and Mink runway 14/32 relocation phase 3, $55,295.25. Bolton and Mink runway 14/32 relocation land acquisition, $2,497.63. Bolton and Mink municipal airport engineering, $769 for a total of $147,569.22. Keep going.
Keep going.
This chair is different. Claims registered financials, $1,510,470.64. Licenses and permits. The following have applied for a liquor license. TPT Enterprises LLC, doing business as the Tin Pig Tavern, 1201/1203 Second Street, extension of the outdoor service area to include the streetery. Police and fire inspections have been completed and are on file at City Hall. The following have applied for an Iowa retail cigarette, tobacco, nicotine, or vapor permits for the period of July 1st, 2022 through June 30th, 2023. Casey's Marketing Company, doing business as Casey's General Store number 26, 2617 Willis Avenue. Casey's Marketing Company, doing business as Casey's General Store number 2698, 1308 First Street. Hy-Vee Incorporated, doing business as Hy-Vee Food and Drug Store, 1215 Highway 141. Fairway Stores, Inc., doing business as Fairway Store number 470, 1315 Willis Avenue. Shop and Go LLC, doing business as the Blue Jay Market, 2810 Willis Avenue. Dolgan Corp LLC, doing business as Dollar General Store number 7169, 705 First Street. El Ray Market LLC, doing business as El Ray Market and Guns, 210 Willis Avenue. AA&M Inc., doing business as JMC Supermarket, 605 First Street. Evergreen Properties Investment LLC, doing business as Circle K Store number 2654 124, 1115 Highway 141. Evergreen Properties Investment LLC, doing business as Circle K Store number 2654 125, 1219 First Street. And Quick Trip Inc., doing business as Quick Star, number 1180, 511 First Street. Motion, please.
I second.
All opposed? Call the roll.
Walling. Yes. Mahler.
Yes.
Berkeley.
Yes.
Schott.
Yes.
Klein. Yes.
City Administrator's report.
All right, first thing is I want to make a comment on Casey's General Store number 26. That's the East Casey's, and it was the 26th store that Casey's put up. So that's how you can tell how old the store is.
I made a note of that last week when we did something.
And the next one is store number 26 or 206, 2,698.
Yep.
That's a lot of difference. That's a lot of stores.
Yeah.
There's Sven's fun fact of the day. I don't have a whole lot, but I did want to mention, you sent out an email about that event going on tomorrow with 1,000 Friends of Iowa. So anybody wants to come out and join that when it hits Perry, you're more than welcome to.
What time will that be, do you know?
I want to say they're supposed to get to Perry, I think around 1:30. So, yep, over in the parking lot. So if anybody wants to join in and listen and be a part of that, you're more than welcome. Other than that, any questions for me, comments, words of praise?
Did you know the first Casey store was in Boone?
Really?
It was just across from my Roosevelt Elementary. And they closed it, donated that building to the schools. It's a storage area. That was the first one. I don't. Built a new one.
And we all put a few thousand in some
There
years
is
ago.
a west side of Boone.
Anybody else?
When are we going to have all the solar?
So I think I got the last notification that the McCurry Center is on, so they should all be on now. I think there's just some final punch list items to clean up some of the construction areas and things like that, but other than that,
I saw
everything's on.
and all of that around there. So
Yep.
that looks awesome.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you, is there a 110 outlet over here underneath the awning there?
By the bike trail. I don't know if there's any outlets, but there's room for breakers for us to add.
So we could
Yeah,
add some. of
yeah,
that.
that's the plan. And also like at least the 220 there too. So we can add whatever we want. Yep.
Old business? Or no, old business, right.
No, mayor council comments.
Okay, excuse me. Thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem council comments.
Yeah. Anybody with questions, comments, and on? Moving forward.
I'll open the floor.
Speakers will be asked to step up to the microphone and state their name and address for the record. Individuals speaking will be given 3 minutes to address the council.
Hey, people. If anybody's on.
Doesn't sound like it. You good to go?
Is there anybody from the audience like to say anything?
Old business, resolution accepting a cost-sharing grant from the Iowa Finance Authority, IFA. The city of Perry, per resolution 05-02-221, submitted an application to the Iowa Finance Authority, IFA, for a cost-sharing rural child care market study grant. And on June 15th, 2022, the city was notified that they had been awarded said grant for the cost-sharing costs of $10,000. This grant requires the city to provide a cash match of at least 50 cents for every $1 awarded under the program. This resolution would accept the grant agreement 22 RCCMS-009, as well as the terms and conditions of the award. It also authorizes the mayor and/or city administrator to execute all documents necessary for the grant. Questions?
motion that we pass a resolution accepting the cost sharing grant from the Iowa Finance Authority.
I'll second.
I've got a question on this.
Yep.
It's gonna cost the city 50 cents on the dollar for this. What do we get for 1,500 or $15,000?
So we'll be entering into a contract with a consultant that will come to town and do a market study, but find out how many slots we have for childcare in Perry, and then what the needs are for childcare, as well as talking to our employers and other staff of companies, things like that, do some surveys to understand if we have a shortage of childcare within the community, so that we can, it'll also have an action component to it. So we'll have actionable items to come out of that to, you know, address a shortage if there is a shortage and things like that.
Will that possibly lead to grants to help people open new
Yep.
daycares?
Yep, either
Okay.
open or expand.
Okay.
Yep.
One more question. There's a lot of private daycares out there that nobody knows about. Are they
Yeah.
gonna find out who those people are and list them too?
That,
There's several around, just
Yeah.
around my neighborhood.
yeah, so there's really, I want to say there's only, other than our daycare centers, there's like 3 or 4 registered.
Yes.
If you stay under a certain number of kids in your daycare, you don't have to register with the state. So I think that would be part of it, not that it would be a marketing component for them, but we'll have a better idea of how many private daycares we have, so that we just know kind of what is in town and available. So, but I know most of those, you have to know somebody to even get in.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of part of it too, is, you know, so part of it's also putting ourselves in the shoes of somebody new coming to town. They might not have the connections to be able to find that kind of a daycare. So how can we help people find those daycare spots? And if they don't exist, how do we help develop new slots within our community? So.
We could open one at the rec center and build a new gym. Site. With that profit.
There you go.
John Anderson. He loved that.
Yeah, sure.
I've got a question, kind of to expound on. So we're responsible for at least 50 cents for every dollar.
Yep.
Right, so if that Market City goes over 15, then we're on the hook for anything above that. We have an estimate on it.
Yep, so part of the grant application was getting a proposal. And it's kind of, the state works with a certain consultant. So the grant is $10,000. The city's responsibility is $5,000. The agreement would be for 15. So it's kind of built in of, this is how much they cost, and then the state's portion, so.
Won't go over.
No.
Won't get on the-
Right. Yep.
Good questions. It's nice for people to know that.
Walling,
Yes.
Mahler,
Yes.
Berkland,
Yes.
Schott,
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
Okay, B, resolution approving the project completion of a Catalyst Grant Development Agreement and authorizing the mayor to sign a letter of project completion to the Iowa Economic Development Authority. At the June 6th council meeting, an amendment to the Nudgers project was approved for 1306 Second Street, and IEDA has also approved the change. On June 10th, city staff and IEDA inspected the property and confirmed that the new project scope had been met. This resolution authorizes the mayor to sign a letter stating this approval and submitting it to IEDA for closeout of the Catalyst grant.
I make a motion to pass a resolution approving the project completion of the Catalyst Grant Development Agreement and authorizing the mayor to sign a letter of project completion to the Iowa Economic Development Authority.
I'll second that.
So just kind of the official check on what we approved at the last meeting of changing the scope for that project and Mr. McDivitt's brief overview of the project so far.
And the annual said it was good.
Do we have any more information on the potential? Is that still,
I don't know if,
yeah, we talked about that there was someone that was interested in the.
I haven't heard anything yet.
The apartment.
I haven't heard anything more.
Yeah, they're talking to a prospective buyer. That's pretty much.
Kirkland,
Yes.
Mahler,
Yes.
Walling,
Yes.
Schott,
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
New business, approval of Perry Public Library Board of Trustees reappointments. Miss Margaret Ruggles submitted a request to be reappointed to the Perry Public Library Board of Trustees on a 4-year term, which would end on June 30th, 2026, if reappointed.
I make a motion to approve appointment of Ms. Margaret Rubble to the Board of Trustees for Prairie Public Library.
I'll second that.
Call the roll, please.
Klein,
Yes.
Walling,
Yes.
Kirkland,
Yes.
Mahler,
Yes.
Schott,
Yes.
Yes.
Item B, resolution approving tax abatement application for residential construction completed or to be completed in 2022 in Perry, Iowa. The purpose of the tax abatement program is to promote new residential construction and renovation in the city of Perry by reducing the amount of property tax homeowners pay on new construction, rehabilitation, and/or major improvements. Citizens wanting to make those improvements must apply to the city council for tax abatement and be approved by resolution. Once approved by council, applications are submitted to the Dallas County Assessor for review for the tax exemption. A list of current applicants was included with the packet.
I make a motion to pass resolution approving tax abatement applications for residential construction completed or to be completed in 2022.
I'll second.
Comments, questions? Call the roll, please.
Kirkland,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Mahler,
Yes.
Walling, Schott,
Yes. Item number C, resolution setting a public hearing on the status of funded activities, SOFA, for the Community Development Block Grant, CDBG, Response and Recovery Grant Contract 20-WS-043. The city received a CDBG on December 3rd, 2020, in the amount of $600,000 to assist in the city of Perry's wastewater system improvements project. The project is being funded in part through a community development block grant provided by the Iowa Economic Development Authority and pursuant to the requirements of Section 508 of the Housing and Community Development Act of 1987. The Iowa Economic Development Authority requires cities receiving CDBG funds to hold a public hearing for providing citizens a status of funded activities, SOFA update, as well as the opportunity to comment on the accomplishments of the funded project to date and how CDBG monies have been expended. With passage of this resolution, the public hearing will be held June 30th, 2022, beginning at 8 a.m. in the second floor boardroom of the Towncraft Building located at 1122 Willis Avenue, Perry, Iowa. The hearing will include a review of project activities and accomplishments to date, a summary of all expenditures to date, a general description of remaining work, and any changes made to the scope of work, budget, schedule, location, and/or beneficiaries.
I make a motion to pass a resolution setting a public hearing on the status of funded activities, SOFA, for the Community Development Block Grant, CDBG Response and Recovery Grant Contract 20-WS-043.
I'll second that.
Call the roll, please.
Mahler,
Yes.
Walling,
Yes.
Kirkland,
Yes.
Schott,
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
Item D, resolution supporting a workforce housing tax credit benefit application be submitted to Iowa Economic Development Authority. The Perrywood Apartments LLC will be applying for a workforce housing tax credit through IEDA for phase 2 of their project. Phase 2 will see the construction of a second building of 30 rental units at the corner of 28th Street and McKinley. This resolution will inform IEDA that the city supports this project and will utilize tax abatement for the second building as matching funds.
Motion to pass a resolution supporting workforce housing tax credit application being submitted to Iowa.
I'll second.
Comments, questions?
I've got one question. Will there be a sidewalk all the way along that street then, when that's finally all done?
Yep,
I
that'll
know
be
it's far down the ways, but all of that will have a sidewalk through there
on McKinley or 28th Street.
on 28.
Well, both 28th Street will,
And
as
McKinley Road.
as each of the houses get finished, they'll pour a sidewalk with their driveways. And then with phase 2 of this Perrywood project, they would be pouring a sidewalk along McKinley.
All the way to the school.
No, just on their property.
Yeah.
Yep,
okay.
yep.
But hopefully someday that will work out.
Yep, well, and remember that was part of the agreement with the Lutheran Home, is that we could give them notice and they would put in sidewalks around their, well, their, what do they call it? Eden Acres campus.
Should
So-
we be giving them notice?
I think once the construction is more complete on 28th Street, then we probably will and give them a time frame that they need to get that done at.
So it's now, they would have a longer time frame.
Yeah,
You know, I think.
I think-
we should-
I want to make sure that those houses, our focus right now is on getting those houses done, so.
Speaking of which, what's steps?
We met with the, I guess now current owners, and they're trying to sell the properties as is. So
And there are quite a few interested parties. City staff also did inspect those early last week. The houses are certainly salvageable. There's nothing catastrophically dilapidated about them. Just the site needs a little cleanup, and that current owner we met with has been informed that they are expected to do that. So hoping to see some movement out there pretty soon. That would be ideal, yes.
That would be great if something did start to happen out there.
Yep.
And a lot of it's just gone bad at this point, yeah.
I can even later in this part of the conversation, what happened?
Yep, that's
He's
in a nutshell.
He's still holding that.
Is he?
That's what I've heard.
Actually,
But this branch of the company,
Separate LLCs,
must be, I don't know.
that's a strategy. Yeah. I've seen that used. I have another question about the Perry Woods. Did I see a new sign at, on the bike trail the other night? Is there another one going in there on the south side of the bike trail?
It's been there a little bit
Okay.
since,
I used to go by real fast.
yeah. You're just
Don't tell the
down
police chief that.
in your arrow bars,
I mean,
right?
on a bicycle.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I think they're just leasing that space from that property owner. It's a weird corner triangle property. But that was from the first building.
Okay.
And then hopefully the second building with some tax incentives for, it's been a minute.
Okay, I guess. I was actually on a walk the other day when I saw it, not on my bicycle, so maybe that's why I noticed it.
Time to slow down and stop and smell some roses.
My dog wanted to stop.
Yeah.
Okay, call the roll, please.
Walling,
Yes.
Mahler,
Yes.
Kirkland,
Yes.
Schott,
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
Okay, item E, resolution setting salaries for resolution setting salaries for employees of the city of Perry, Iowa fiscal year 2023. This wage schedule for July 1st, 2022 to June 30th, 2023 is required by law and authorizes the city clerk, finance officer, and/or the city administrator to issue checks less legally required deductions according to the attached wage schedule. The salary or wage increases for July 1st, 2022 to June 30th, 2023 shall be paid bi-weekly on the first regular payroll after July 1st, 2022. This resolution declares null and void all previous resolutions adopted prior to this date, which are in conflict with this resolution.
Make a motion to approve resolution setting salaries for employees in the city of Perry, Iowa fiscal year 2023.
I'll second it.
Discussion? Probably wasn't anything in there regarding city
Council,
council.
there was no change.
We did bring that up.
The personnel committee did.
Since I had talked a little bit about that this morning with Mr. Peterson, I thought I'd bring it up now. So. Ordinances.
Oh.
Call the roll. Thank you.
Let's see, Klein,
Yes.
Walling,
Yes.
Kirkland,
Yes.
Mahler,
Yes.
Schott,
Yes. Now we'll do ordinances. Ordinance amending the Code of Ordinance, Chapter 13, Hotel Motel Tax. This ordinance would amend Chapter 13, Section 13.05 of the Code of Ordinance to properly reflect the accounting and distribution of hotel motel tax. This is needed as per Resolution 12/21/20D. The city of Perry withdrew from the intergovernmental agreement with the Greater Des Moines Convention and Visitors Bureau, GDMCVB. The agreement ends June 30th, 2022, and the portion being distributed to them per the current ordinance needs to be directed back to the city's portion. Second reading.
I make a motion to pass ordinance amending Code of Ordinance, Chapter 13, Hotel Motel Tax.
I'll second.
Comments, questions? Call the roll, please.
I would just ask that maybe we do both readings tonight, so get it published before the end of the fiscal year. One step ahead of me all the time.
Just,
Kirkland,
yes.
Mahler,
Yes.
Walling,
Yes.
Schott,
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
Make a motion that we suspend
Second that.
Right, Walling,
Yes.
Kirkland,
Yes.
Mahler,
Yes.
Schott,
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
Comments, questions, or concerns? Yes, sir.
Yep, I think
Oh, I'm
Barbara's
sorry.
getting ready to do
I
her
make
motion.
a motion that we pass an ordinance amending the Code of Ordinance, Chapter 13, Hotel Motel Tax. Third reading.
Oh, yes.
Right,
Call the roll.
Walling,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Kirkland,
Yes.
Mahler,
Yes.
Schott.
Yes. Unless there's further discussions or questions, say so now. Otherwise, we will call this meeting adjourned. Yes.
When's the year-end meeting?
June 30th, 8 AM.
Yep.
Right here. Yep,
Right here.
Friday. No, Thursday.
No, Thursday,
Thursday.
And that's at 8 o'clock.
8 AM, yes.
That's a pickleball day.
I feel like they always fall on a pickleball day.
You
Bart.
can zoom in.
Oh, it's not even the McCurry.